Everybody, J.M. Manion here. We're on the road for the 2025 Olympia, and I am here with your, how are we going to say, how many times this year?
4-time Olympia champion.
Oh, I was going to say 5.
You're a few weeks ahead of yourself.
Okay. All right, Sarah. Now, how's it going defending the title every year? Does it get harder? Is it, I don't want to say easier, but do you get into a routine? How is it?
A little bit of both, like what you said. Every year it does get challenging, more challenging. Of course, I'm not the only one that's, gunning for the title. Everybody's always competing. Everybody's working hard. But, like you said, I am a veteran at this. I've been at the Olympia every year consecutively since 2018. So I'm a veteran. I have a routine. I'm fortunate enough to know what works and just kind of ride the wave as my body develops. But it's definitely, nothing comes easy. It's earned every single year. I have to do my homework, and I have been doing my homework.
We saw her post, so yes, she has.
So, I'm excited to say the least. I know that's kind of cliche, but it's going to be a big year, and there's, I'm feeling good about it.
Yeah, I hate to disappoint you all, but I'm going to be holding that posing video till the week of the Olympia.
Oh, you're not going to release it?
Not till now. Let them all think about it.
Keep it under wraps, right?
Yes, they can stew on it. That way you can see what she looked like we're 5 weeks out?
Yes, 5 weeks.
Okay, well, 5 weeks out, and then see what she looks like when she walks on stage.
Yeah, you can do a little side-by-side comparison. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better that way.
Me too.
Okay, good. All right, so going back to the Olympia, you're defending the title. The competitors coming up, they're getting tougher and tougher. They're getting better.
Absolutely, and we have quite a few girls that women's physique is a muscle category. Sometimes it takes time for your body to develop. So there were a few girls who weren't competing at the Olympia last year that I know are back this year. There's a lot of really good talent. I know there's also a lot of girls who this will be their first Olympia that are competing. So it's going to be a good year all around.
Yeah, I mean, I thought last year's Olympia was exciting, but I think looking at the talent across the board in all the divisions for this year, I think it's even better than last year.
I agree. I think there's going to be a lot of really good storylines, and of course, coming from the incredible athletes that we have to make those storylines.
Right. There's a lot of storylines, especially in all the women's divisions too.
Yes.
Like the wellness with, Issa unfortunately losing at the Arnold, and Eduardo winning, and they're both going to be at the Olympia.
Yes,
so,
and then of course, Francielli trying to regain her title, and a lot going on.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, who's going to be the new figure champion?
Yes, that's another big one, and fitness as well.
Right.
So there's, some openings.
Which is interesting, because what if Missy ends up winning the figure?
That would be, that would be, because I don't know that we've had a female to win in 2 categories. We've had it, obviously, in the men's now with Derek, but I don't think the women's we've had that.
No, there hasn't been.
Yeah, well, that'll be all the more reason to watch.
More history at the Olympia.
Yes,
it's fun that way. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on even on the guy side too.
Yeah, of course. There's classic. There's open is always going to be, a battle and see what's going to happen there. So yeah, it's going to be a big year. Right,
and we have Aaron Banks, Jeremy, Brandon, all in the Olympia. And you've got the up and comer Ali, and and other guys too. That division is going to be a little nuts.
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch for sure.
And you can just listen to them all trashing each other online. It's funny, the women don't do that. I wonder why.
We'll leave Instagram to Instagram. How about that?
Yeah. Well, we had a funny conversation off the record. That's all we'll say.
Yes.
But I think altogether, I mean, even with the Mr. Olympia, that's going to be exciting.
Yeah, we'll see, because the last couple of years we haven't really had like a dominant champion that just hands down comes in and they're winning it back to back to back. It's gone a couple different ways, so it's fun. It keeps it exciting, and definitely you have to be there to watch it and see the outcome. Right.
And especially when the shows like with the Arnold, the Pittsburgh, New York, and you saw what was happening there. The guys that were good in Texas and Tampa now, and you just never know. One of these younger guys that could just come in and just shake it all up too.
Yeah, and it just comes down to the day of, who brings it, who doesn't, and how do you show up. So.
Yeah, so it's going to be great. I mean, be there if you can be there. Tickets are going to sell out soon, but I'll tell you about that later.
Yes.
But anyways, with you. What keeps you motivated at this point?
It's so. I currently am tied with Juliana Malacarne for having the most number of wins. So this year for me has really been kind of a little different in the sense of it's not every day that you have the chance to make history. And so that's deeply personal for me because obviously this is something that I love and, this is my life's passion. And it sounds silly, but I feel like I'm getting a little emotional, just talking about it. But, in all seriousness, I'm just so blessed to do what I love and, like I said, to have an opportunity to make history in something. And so it's being part of something that's bigger than just you, this whole bodybuilding sport. When we had the 60th anniversary last year, you feel the energy, you go there and you see the fans and you see all the other divisions. And you just realize I'm just a small piece of this puzzle. But my piece is so needed because a puzzle with one missing piece is a puzzle with one missing piece. Right. And so it really is just kind of that bigger context. And like I said, having the opportunity to make history is something that it's really, really special to me.
Yeah, that's great motivation. That's just like, who's going to do what in any division? People can make history.
Yeah. And like I said, I'm so blessed to have 4 wins and to be able to be going for the 5th, to have, the most wins. It's, like I said, it's a privilege.
Yeah, I remember when Sid Gillen was going to tie and then break Devonna Medina's record. That kind of became her motivation, to get to that point and then to go past it and be the first person to break that.
Yeah, and of course, we're all competitors, so we're driven by a challenge, right? And so first it's like, okay, can I win it? Okay, can I do it again? Okay, now can I, tie the record? Can I beat the record? How many can I get?
Yeah, and how many years that record has held, too.
Exactly.
That's the way Sid was.
So, yes, I'm sure. And so it's kind of this continuous, moving of the goalposts. They're always, a little bit further away, a little bit further away. But again, as a competitor, that's what we love and that's what we work for.
Yeah. All right, so I got to ask you about this awesome statue that we saw unveiled at your gym. And Ali, I got to say the presentation was phenomenal.
He never does anything just enough. It has to be always.
So you actually had no clue. You had no clue.
So let's
be honest here.
So in all fairness, there was this big taped structure, covered structure in the middle of our gym. And he had told me, it's this new, this 3D arrangement of TVs. And I thought, okay, cool. And then I got suspicious when I never saw the electrician working on it, and it was being covered for a long time. And anytime I would ask about it, he would be dismissive or short. So I kind of thought that it maybe wasn't the TV setup that he said it was, but I had no idea that it was going to be larger than life-size statue of my signature kneeling pose. I'm honestly speechless. I don't know what to say about it. It was breathtaking when I saw it. It's beautiful, and it was just, it was really humbling and very special for me, for him to do something that was so, meaningful. Yeah. And it's not every day that somebody can have a statue of themselves suspended from the ceiling. But yeah, that is a really cool project, and he. I don't know how he was able to pull it off and keep it a secret from me for so long, but kudos to him.
Did that make you think, what other secrets is he keeping?
In a good way, right? What other surprises? I was looking around the house, maybe there's a nice, piece of jewelry or something hidden under the couch. So, yeah.
So, and now your involvement with the Texas Pro, with the statue and everything that you got there. That award is, how heavy is that thing? Because I've picked it up, but it's pretty heavy.
It's pretty heavy. If I were to guess, I would say maybe 30, 35 pounds, something like that. Something. Yeah, it's weighted. It's got some weight to it.
I like the fact that the women are doing the contest because they want to win that.
Yeah, so I was actually having a conversation with Debbie before the show, and one thing that I really like that I've gotten to experience year after year. This was the 5th year anniversary of it. And one thing that's been really special for me is the camaraderie that comes around with it. Because sometimes in the sport, you see somebody for a minute, or you maybe, greet them backstage, but you're focused on the show. You see them in passing or whatever. But it's really given us in the women's physique division something to like talk about. And afterwards, we all like hang around and take pictures with each other. And, where are you from? And, I was going to do this show last year, but this happened. It just opens the door for conversation. And it really it brings us together, and it really, like I said, just creates the camaraderie, which I've, loved seeing that. I've loved being able to, meet the girls, because I'm in the same boat. I don't necessarily like go and, compete at a lot of shows to be able to meet these people. And so that's been something that I've been really, blessed to experience when, having the opportunity to meet all these girls that I might not have otherwise had the opportunity to meet.
I just love the fact they're so excited about it.
Yeah, me too. I really love that. And, again, it gives them something to, to just kind of, in a way, like, stick your chest out and say, we're Women's Physique. This is who we are. We put our best foot forward, and, to get the recognition that, we, work so hard all year round for.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I also like the kind of like the display, but the box or whatever came in. So it was like a 2-in-1 thing. Like you could put it on top, but then to carry it.
Yeah, the little like I guess like the little shuttle cart that was with it. Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, and it's helpful because it's like we mentioned,
it's heavy,
heavier, so it's easier to transport that way. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So, and I just want to piggyback on that because. This is not something that I talk about all the time, but back in 2021, so that was when, the award started, but that was also the same year that the Arnold took out the Women's Physique. And, kudos to the Pro League, because you guys were there right away to say, hey, we're bringing Women's Physique division to the Pittsburgh Pro, and to see obviously what you guys did a couple months ago with making it into an expo. Just incredible, and you guys were, right there front row to say, hey, we're having Women's Physique. You guys are, supported. You guys are loved. And that was, something that was really, really cool for us that we see as well.
Right. I know, because people they just generalized the IFBB Pro League, but that was my father's idea.
Yes, to have the Women's Physique there. And so that was, again, something that's definitely recognized and seen. Thank you.
Yeah, well, it's great. I mean, love Women's Physique. I mean, I wish we could get more doing more contests too.
Yeah, well, and this year we've had, I feel like the numbers have been really good. Matter of fact, there was even a girl, Marika. She did, because the Tupelo and the Texas Pro were on the same weekend. The Women's Physique went on Friday night and in Tupelo, and Saturday night in Dallas, where the Texas Pro was. So she actually competed on Friday night, drove to Dallas, and competed in Texas on Saturday. So to hear like a story like that is just incredible, So big, props to her for doing that. And, it just, again, just wanting to compete, and people like her, are showing up and doing the show. So that's awesome to see.
It is. And, I'm happy to see, I forget what contest it was, that there was actually more Women's Physique than there was Pro Wellness in a contest.
Oh, wow. Okay. I don't know which one that was.
I forget which one, but I was like, wow, that's a big step.
Yeah, definitely. So, and like I mentioned, this is a muscle category. So sometimes people take strategic time off to, make and give your body enough time to make the developments that would be tangible to have improvement from, one season to the next. Yeah. So sometimes, it just comes in cycles. But I think, as a whole, we couldn't be in a more thriving place right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and the way the competitors are looking, you can tell they're Women's Physique.
Yes, and it's not just like a numbers game. It's true quality, quality talent that is in line with the division. That's, it's very much,
with the criteria.
Yeah, and it's it's making it hard. You have I've seen
It's
some
hard,
shows,
but for us, it's exciting. I mean, even though I'm taking the pictures, I'm still a fan.
yeah, and I've seen some shows where you're like, oh wow, like I don't know which way it's going to go, or like they've got really strong physiques and stuff. So it definitely makes it a lot more exciting to watch as a whole too. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of this is because of you. And I know you don't want to talk about yourself, but you've carried this division to where it is now.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I take that as a big compliment. From my lens, I just feel like I mentioned, this is a passion of mine. I'm doing what I love, and so I'm grateful that people see my footsteps as footsteps to follow. That's humbling for me, because to me, I'm just trying to be the best person that I can be, and do things the best way that I know how. So I take that as a big compliment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, that's like today we have another competitor here that's in pro bikini, a younger bikini competitor who's followed you and was so excited. I didn't tell her that you were going to be here, and she just can't believe herself.
Yeah, well, I got to talk with her, in the break room over there, and just kind of sharing stories. And this will be her first Olympia, and so she kind of told me about how she's followed me and stuff, and it was kind of fun to reflect on my journey, and it reminds me of back, like I remember my first Olympia and things like that.
But the fact that you're inspiring women in other divisions.
Yes, and it's that's what's great about bodybuilding, is that at the end of the day, it is its own community. Yes, we have men's divisions, women's divisions, and within that there's multiple different divisions, but we're all bodybuilders at heart. And so it's really easy to find that connection even if someone's in another division. Right. Because there's nothing less inspiring about anybody, no matter what division they're in. Right. So but it is really cool to kind of have that cross connection from other divisions. Right.
Yeah, it has to make you feel good, right?
Yeah, it does. It is. It's definitely a good feeling.
Yeah. All right, so is there anything else you want to throw out there before we wind this up?
It's going to be a big year, like we mentioned, from all divisions. Of course, I'm gunning and working to break the record and be the first one to have 5 Olympia titles in the women's physique division. So just, you don't want to miss out.
Right. So if you want to see Sarah on the Olympia stage, go to MrOlympia.com, get those tickets, because they're going to sell out. They sell out every year, weeks before the contest. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing a graphic that they're down to the bare minimum. Now, if you can't get there, there's a link on the Mr. Olympia page, but there's also OlympiaProductions.com. You can buy the live stream and watch it. But if you can be there, the excitement, the energy, the expo, the Meet the Olympians, the press conference, it's just what an atmosphere, right?
There's no experience like the Olympia. The word you used is correct. It's an entire atmosphere. It's not just a bodybuilding show. It's not just a weekend. It's the Mr. Olympia Weekend, and you can't beat the energy in the halls going from one event to the next. Right. It's just a buzz.
Yeah, even walking through the casino, you see people that are in the show. Like, you can actually walk up and talk to them.
Yes, and so it's definitely its own energy, and it's something that's not you can't duplicate it anywhere.
Right. All right. So this is J.M. Manion.
Sarah Villegas.
Signing out for NPCNewsOnline.com. We look forward to seeing you at the Olympia.